Hi, my name is Nuno Godinho. I'm the Group CEO for the Industrial Thought Group, owner of FSL, Raw Knowledge, ThoughtTrain, and Thought Ventures.
So Nuno, tell me about what was the first thing that you knew about Turn and what made you, be part of Turn?
The first time that I got to know Turn was through TISA and our membership with TISA Tech. We started to get introduced about the concept, and it's one of the things that it's difficult is the data flowing through the industry. And so it got really interesting to have that conversation, had the conversation with Gary, went into details about what they were doing and how blockchain was being used, because one of the part is also the liability within the data. And so as we started to get and more about it and learn more about what Turn was doing and how it was going to help connect with asset managers, fund managers, and flow the data, we got more interested, because within Raw Knowledge and even FSL, we use data, and the headache of trying to incorporate all that data in order to then be able to process the tax packs and do all the corporate actions processing. It was absolutely key. So that's why we joined and we started to collaborate with Turn.
How is Turn, for you, in your opinion, going to change the way how data will be managed for asset managers and distributors in the new, in the new landscape of blockchain?
So the way that Turn is going to change the transformation and at the end of the day, the reporting of the data for asset managers, fund managers, and everybody involved is by bringing provenance, is by bringing liability, is by simplifying and standardizing the flow of data from one party to the other. So that is one key part. Blockchain brings the trust level and security level so that you have different validating points. And so it's going to really bring the ability for us to put liability at the core of this industry, which is something that we need to work a lot more. Because if you don't have the provenance, the security of when data changed, and have a templated way in order to use, we go back to what happens today. Everybody uses a different way of an Excel or a PDF or screen scrape or whatever, which is massively error prone. So it simplifies the transmission, but also standardize the data gathering.
What are the top three things that you suggest other asset managers to do? You like in Turn that asset managers should take, should be on board? What are the top three things about Turn?
The top three things about Turn for asset managers to get onboarded is, one is the ability to have a way in order to transmit their data accurately, and then also two, have them in whatever standard format it's required to do, and ensuring that that data is being used in the right way, because that's across the board what blockchain is going to provide: is provenance, is quality, and it's also the validity and the trust with data.
What about distributors?
Distributors I see distributors as being, some will see this as a threat, some will see this as a potential. So I think for distributors is going to be, one, it's a way for you to get clear, well-validated data and transmit it in a standardized way. So you focus on what each define as their value add. If you're a distributor of data that is more in the area of taking, scraping, and getting from CSV, you probably will feel a little bit more threatened than others. But it's a way for the whole distributed area to rethink what the value it is, and so focus on generating who is the other asset managers, fund managers, issuers that we need to connect to, and what value add do we need to put. So ultimately, Turn brings to the exchange of data, something that this industry as a whole requires across the board, which is the ability for us to get the clear data that we have. Where did the data come from? What happened? How did it get here? But also think about value add that every single piece of this puzzle is adding, because there is a lot of players, a lot of intermediaries, and I think that Turn has the power to disintermediate everything that is not adding value.
Amazing. As Turn brings to a very good piece of this product as flagging system. Is something that you think the industry needs, this flagging system? Is Turn going to change the world? How data will be flagged as a system, and the accuracy of the data will come back in quicker way, more efficient, and so on?
So Turn will certainly, the flagging system is a key part, because in order for you to be able to respond more and more real time, or as near real time as we can, you need to have that flagging system and that ability to notify. And that's absolutely key. What I would look is that Turn, there are two parts. One is the part on the data exchange, so it's enabling data to circulate and do the notification part, and that is absolutely key. That's where Turn is starting. And then there is the added value services that are going to be put on top, which is the validation of the data. In order to say, we can think about corporate actions, for example, is a very complex element. They are being, are they getting put in the right type? Are they filled with all the information they need? Are they getting the exact comments, narrative that it should have? So all of that is something that is going to be enabled by Turn, by starting on where we are now, which is on the core of transitioning and exchange of data. So it's a stepping stone in a massive transformation. I think it's a disruptive transformation for the future, which will allow us to provide much better service to the end customer, being that the asset manager or the investor, because by having this notification and flagging system, we can give them the right information and flag them at the right time to make a decision.